The 9th generation Toyota Camry. This is it. It gets a new look, a new interior, and a significant change to the powertrain. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. Let's start with the first thing you see, the exterior. The overall shape of the Camry doesn't change all that much, but it does get a new front fascia, new squinty headlights, and an updated grille. Look, I'm not convinced anyone is going to be turning their head to see this, but what I will say is that I do think it's aging quite well. But looks are always subjective, so I'll give you a moment to bask in all things. I'm going to echo my sentiments about the exterior when it comes to the interior. So this is the XSE. This is the top-of-the-line trim, so obviously you're going to get all the bells and whistles. But you know what? I've been in the base model, and I have to tell you, I really do feel like it looks almost just as good as this one does. Toyota has done a top-notch job with the inside of the Camry. Let's start with where you're sitting. The seats in this car have gotten more comfortable over time, and if you go for the higher trims, you even get them covered in leather. So yeah, they're definitely a step up. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a 6'4" Mike Danger. I'm 5'4", and I'm perfectly fine with that. But even with my height, I've got plenty of room here, and the adjustability of these seats, impressive. We've got adjustable seats, which are really comfortable, and there's tilting and telescoping of the steering wheel right here. So there's a lot of ways to get comfortable up front. Of course, when it comes to second row comfort and room behind my seating position, I don't think anyone's going to have any problems. There's enough room to put your feet under the seat. And trust me, I'm not even stretching my legs that far. I'm not that long, if you know what I mean. I do have a little bit of headroom here, thanks to a slightly sloped roofline, which gives the car a sporty look. But even in the middle seat, I'm raised a little bit, so I'm definitely touching the headliner. Now, if you spread eagle a little bit, sure there's space, but if you've got people on your left and right, yeah, that's not going to be very comfortable. And let's be honest, you don't want to sit in the middle seat like a crazy person anyway, if nobody's over here. When it comes to cargo space, you're looking at 15.1 cubic feet in the trunk. It's generous, and you get 60-40 split seats, which make it more convenient to stash longer items. The LE and SE lower trims both get a 7-inch digital gauge cluster, but if you go up to the XLE and XSE, you're going to get a 12.3-inch gauge cluster up here. It's customizable, really clear to see, and overall, very nice. The same goes for your infotainment screen as well. On the base models, you're going to get an 8-inch screen, but again, higher trim levels will upgrade you to this 12.3-inch screen. The graphics look good. Toyota's audio multimedia touchscreen has a fairly quick processor, and it's easy to navigate and set up. You also get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto across the entire trim lineup. While we're on the topic, you do get some great standard features even on the base model of this car. But of course, as with everything else, you get more in the feature set when you go up to the XLE and XSE higher trims. Base models come standard with push-button start, auto up-down power windows, dual-zone climate control, and a telescoping steering wheel. When it comes to exterior amenities, you're looking at LED daytime running lights and 16-inch wheels, but those go up to 18 inches on the SE and XLE and 19 inches on the XSE. There are also packages you can add to your Camry to get a couple of extra features if you want them. For example, if you get the SE trim, which is the second from the lowest trim, you can add a package that will upgrade you to this 12.3-inch screen. I actually really like this feature. I really appreciate that Toyota has done this because maybe you can't afford to get the XLE or the XSE, but this is an important component to you. I think it's great. Boy, I wish they did it on their Land Cruiser, because the smaller screen is maybe the one thing that kind of bugs me about the other one, but the fact that they're doing it in the Camry is a great thing. The Premium Plus package upgrades things like driver safety features, including front cross-traffic alerts, lane change assist, and front and rear parking assist with a 360-degree camera setup. But you also get a head-up display and a panoramic glass roof. Be mindful though, not all packages are available on all trims, so check to make sure which features you're looking for and configure accordingly. Speaking of safety features, the Toyota Camry comes with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 as standard. That includes things like blind spot monitoring, stop-and-go cruise control, and a kind of lane-keeping assist if you start to wander off a little bit. One thing I do want to mention, there is a control here on the steering wheel that allows you to shut off the lane-keeping assist. However, it's not a permanent shut-off. If you want to do that, you'll have to dig a little deeper into the gauge cluster settings. I would prefer something a little more convenient, but that's how it is. Now we get to the part that some folks might think sounds like a downgrade. There is no more V6. Instead, you get a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine that pairs with an electric motor. But this is a Toyota hybrid, everyone, something that Toyota, as we know, does very, very well. Power numbers on the front-wheel drive model? Well, you get a combined 225 horsepower. And on the all-wheel drive version, you're looking at 232 horsepower. Yes, the V6 used to make 301 horsepower, so the thought is that the Camry might feel a little underpowered. Well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't. Toyota engineers have tweaked the system using the electric motor's torque to make it feel like the Camry has more power than it actually does. You get that early torque in the low RPM range, and honestly, when I put my foot down on the throttle, I don't feel the loss in horsepower much at all. There are 3 distinct drive modes: Eco, Normal, and Sport. And I have to say, there actually is a noticeable difference between them. Eco feels appropriately conservative and efficient, while Sport gives you a more eager throttle response. There's also a pure EV mode available when you're driving at lower speeds and have enough battery charge. When it comes to driving this new generation of Camry, I won't shower you with grand platitudes. This is still a Camry. But it's Camrys very well. Ride quality is very comfortable, exactly what you'd expect. Steering is nice and light, and the brakes are solid underfoot. Nothing to complain about here. There's a reason the Camry has been the #1 best-selling car in the United States for decades. It's solid, well-engineered, and this generation is no different. And now, with the hybrid powertrain, you're getting an added benefit that shouldn't disappoint anyone. Speaking of which, let's talk about fuel economy. The gas mileage numbers look stellar. There is some variation depending on whether you choose all-wheel drive and the aerodynamic packages, but overall, the hybrid system delivers 10 mpg more than the previous gas-only version. If I were buying this, I would definitely opt for the all-wheel drive version. Visibility in the Camry is terrific. It's easy to see out of, with a nice, wide field of view. Toyota has done a great job ensuring you feel comfortable and confident behind the wheel. And it's quiet in here, even with a bit of moderately droning CVT. Yes, I know, it's a CVT, but it does come with paddle shifters, so you can at least pretend to be shifting. One thing to note though, if you put it in 4th gear, and then come to a complete stop, it stays in 4th. So, you do have to manually downshift often and regularly, as it won't do it for you automatically. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing for the Toyota Camry starts at $29,945 for the LE front-wheel drive model, while the top-end XSE all-wheel drive model starts at $37,076. In terms of warranty coverage, Toyota offers 3 years or 36,000 miles of comprehensive coverage and 5 years or 60,000 miles for the powertrain. A lot of people ask about hybrid batteries and their longevity. Toyota is feeling pretty confident, and it shows in their warranty. This hybrid comes with an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty for all hybrid components. But the real kicker? Toyota is covering the battery itself for 10 years or 150,000 miles. I think that if Toyota has that much confidence in the longevity of their hybrid system, you can too. Realistically, how many of you out there have had a car for more than 10 years? Go ahead and light up the comment section and let us know.